Well, I'm going to talk a few words to President Trump. What's going on now in regarding to U.S. North Korean summit meeting? We got much trepidation and perplexity, at the same time some worry as well as expectation. Recently in Korea, as the picture of the US North Korean summit meeting gets clear and clear more, in Korea some serious concerns evolve. We have a very deep scar and wounds by United States. Of course, I'm not saying that we have never been, how could I say, benefited and then much we were cherished by your support and help and assistance in terms of our economic development and national security. But nevertheless, throughout the history in international relations, we have three big events, instant, which we felt inevitably we felt that we got somewhat left out or even somewhat betrayed. Again, I emphasize on that. I have never meant that we forgot about United States' gratitude and thanks to our national economic development, emerging as one of the top 10 economic big power in the world. Yes, without your assistance, we cannot see, we cannot picture what we are now. It doesn't mean that we forgot about your gratitude. I'm talking about gratitude is one thing, but at the same time, what is going on now between you and North Korea regarding denuclearization, complete denuclearization, which makes us very worrisome, is what is the real context and gist of your mutual agreement between United States and North Korea. Of course, our President Moon generously enough said that, okay, North Korean nuclear issue is not our issue. You, President Trump and Kim Jong-un, chairperson of chief of a Nodong party in North Korea, you mutually you cooperatively deal with that. I will sit back. Of course, sometimes he want to jump into as a kind of mediator, or other times he claims that himself is a driver, nice driver, but recently President Trump gave him warning, just shut up and stay quietly. As long as you stay as an observer, I will accept it. Don't speak out and don't meddle anything. It doesn't help us. Actually, the more you talk about it, it gives us more troublesome in the process of U.S. North Korean negotiation. That's why he's very quietly sitting. Even Singapore U.S. North Korean summit meeting, the probability of the ending ceasefire is very high. And President Moon is quite excited, but he cannot express. His excitement very outwardly and honestly, because he got to watch Trump's, how he's gonna consider Moon's reaction. He's very much concerned about that, definitely. But anyway, let's go back to 3 instant. 1905, of course, at that time, Korean, the demising Korea. My, we didn't have any power. So almost like a beaten and hidden by surrounding countries, especially by gigantic and pompous and arrogant military power, Japan. They will treat us like a small fish. Actually, at that time, not even small fish. I'm sorry to say this, but at that time, we were even a small fly. Your assistant, General Taft, in Japan, later he became a Prime Minister, Kasra, sitting together and agreed, I will take care of Philippines, leave us Philippines under our control, and Japan can take care of South Korea. Not South Korea, Korean Peninsula. That was the beginning of our sad and painstaking history of 36 years of Japanese colonization. Of course, not because of that agreement we become Japan's colony. Japan treated us so badly. We were actually almost helpless and powerless in international world. Maybe that is almost inevitable, the outcome or result which we cannot avoid it. But nevertheless, what if at that time US really hold more strongly us, as if you jump into on and came to Korea to assist us during the Korean War? If you have that much interest and trust on us, of course, I don't think that you came to Korea in 1950 with any kind of trust, but definitely, even if it's majorly because of your own national interest to protect democracy against communism expansion by Soviet Union and China. Nevertheless, you came here with your young soldiers' lives, over 50,000 lives sacrificed and casualty, and deaths of over 50,000. At the risk of losing that lives, you all the way coming down here to help us, to keep the democracy. I know 1905 US power is much less than 1950s. Nevertheless, it was, even if it was an inevitable situation, inevitable outcome, we felt very sad and somewhat, to be honest with you, resentful. How could you possibly, you didn't never accept our King Gojong's 8 times solicitation? Are we gonna send a special envoy? Would you meet him? Would you meet them? US said never no, never yes. And we ended up on the Japanese colonization. Second instant is the 1950s, right before Korean War. U.S. Secretary of State Department Atchison, he drew line. Of course, he drew line and declared that this is we call it Atchison line. Aleutian Archipelago, Japan's Okinawa, and Philippines, connecting these lines with a strong line saying that US is gonna defend and protect the countries and the area within these lines. Of course, Korea is left out. We were left out without any kind of US protection. I'm not saying that only because of Atchison's line, Kim Il-sung tried to Kim Il-sung evoked the war. I'm not saying that. But nevertheless, I can say very clearly that definitely gives Kim Il-sung confidence. It is good enough. They were comfortable enough or competent enough to evoke the war. He discussed that matter with Stalin, and Stalin discussed that matter the USSR, the Soviet Union. Soviet Union gives very strong support to Kim Il-sung. You may start the war. South Korea is left out under nobody's protection. Within a few days, you can demolish South Korea. Kim Il-sung was very much encouraged. Definitely that instigate and stimulate Kim Il-sung's intention to evoke war against South Korea. His invasion of South Korea. I think he got the confidence. It doesn't make directly North Korea to evoke war, but definitely it assists Kim Il-sung's intention and interest in invasion of South Korea. And about 20 years later, 1971-72, there were US-China Daetang, the worldly renowned and the most capable and top-notch US strategist, Professor Kissinger, at that time, as a national security advisor, he advised the United States, asked China to be together with the United States, open the door and accept the US Daetang, and then hold hand in hand, stand against for the containment of the Soviet Union's expansion of communism. China said yes. At that time, they didn't have a power, they didn't have an economy, they didn't have a money, they didn't have a technology, they didn't have a strong military capability against the Soviet Union. They thought that it is much easier and cheaper, economic and safer to be together with the United States than continuing or maintaining their ally with the Soviet Union. By doing that, by initiating this Daetang, US and China say that. US say that, okay, China asked the United States, please pull out the US troops from Taiwan and recognize us as a one China. US said yes. Nixon said yes. Under the condition China is going together with the United States, containing the expansion of Soviet Union's communism. By agreeing each other that conditions, those mutually reciprocal, not mutual, reciprocal conditions, just as like 1905, they say that, okay, Korea is under the exclusive control by United States and China. For 7 years, since 1905, 3 times for 7 years, we got somewhat betrayed or a kind of left out or not properly taken care of. Of course, there is no obligation or no reason U.S. has to take care of South Korea as equivalent to the importance of keeping their own national interest. They thought that Korea is somewhere out there. Well, at that time, let's put it this way. At that time, in international relations, the power of Korea, the influence of Korea, or the strategical importance of Korea is not as great as now. What about now? At that time, not as great, not as important, not as strong. That's why US may act like that. But what about now? US and Korea is an ally. Blood-knitten ally. One of the closest ally. One of the only relations which has a combined forces command. NATO doesn't have that. US, Japan doesn't have a combined forces command. Korea, US is the only country which has a combined forces command. In other words, two in the world, we defend together under the same commandership, combined commandership. We are that close. Now, North Korean nuclear issue, it is detrimental to, or most imminent issue to South Korean security and economy and safety, and also the biggest threat to Koreans' democracy. As for US, of course, North Korean nuclear issue is a very big issue to them, but they consider implicitly, they say that is a kind of 6,000 kilometers away or 6,000 miles away from United States mainland to South Korea. But North Korea is to South Korea, North Korea is just adjacent, or China is even adjacent. Japan is next to you. If anything happens, China, Japan, Korea, South Korea should, help North Korea in terms of their economic development. Yes, we will do that as long as the denuclearization is completed. The reason why we have so much worry and concern and trepidation regarding US-North Korean summit meeting is in terms of the context of mutual agreement. What if the US just emphasizing on that, as long as North Korea, Kim Jong-un only getting rid of or demolish the ICBM and transfer some few head of nuclear bombers, and nuclear materials into US some location. President Trump is happy with meeting Kim Jong-un with that condition, and with one more recipe, one more condition. If you say that, okay, CVID takes time, but we means that North Korea and United States will take care of this issue as a possible time within foreseeable future. Who knows what is the foreseeable future? Recently, Trump began to change his tone of word. One-shot deal is not probable. Let's go slowly. step by step. I agree with him, step by step. But that step by step doesn't necessarily mean that do one step and check another one step do it, and another step move into another step. It can take time. I hope he didn't mean that after this summit meeting on June 12th, after I meet Kim Jong-un, we agreed to meet each other to discuss about this denuclearization many times. That's his word. But Kim Jong-un is possible or probable because of his unique political structure and regime and system. But democratic society, every single minute, strategy and policies are changing. Especially like the United States, who got to take care of so many crucial and important issues in Middle East and China and Northeast Asia and Southeast Asia, terrorism, world trade issue. North Korean nuclear issue is, as long as ICBM is just removed or completely demolished, North Korean nuclear issue is not going to be forever number one and utmost important issue to United States anymore. It may remain the utmost and most imminent and crucial issue to South Korea. But it is not to United States. If there is no direct imminent threat to U.S. mainland, such as ICBM used by North Korea, if Kim Jong-un put on some show with some benevolent gesture of transferring few bombers, nuclear bombers and nuclear materials out of Pyongyang or out of North Korean area more safely to U.S. viewpoint, to U.S. territory, and U.S. has verified Kim Jong-un doesn't have any intention to develop or test any more ICBM. Even the ICBM which he built, he completely demolished it. I think Trump is quite happy with that. With one more condition. In summit meeting, just articulating, say, for CVID, US, South Korea, North Korea will put concerted effort in the future continuously. That is nothing. That is nothing, only the word. Who can verify, who can pursue, who can push North Korea, who can check whether they are doing or not? Only South Korea will be remained under the biggest threat of North Korean nuclear issue. The reason why I say biggest threat means that without getting rid of without the completion of North Korean denuclearization, as a US promised, as a South Korea promised, if we initiate any kind of economic assistance to North Korea, even if it is not directly, but it means that indirectly we recognize North Korea as a nuclear country. Of course, US too. Even if you never utter or you never speak out that word, if you do agree with that kind of terms, that kind of condition with North Korea, you are actually accepting North Korea as or recognizing him as a country of nuclear weapons, which Kim Jong-un has been so long wished for. Well, I think the word, the expression, which will be included in summit meeting on June 12th, I think almost everything is already done. If they do change throughout by repeating this kind of subsidiary and official some levels meeting, what they negotiating or coordinating is just nitty-gritty in terms of the ceremony or protocols or more diplomatic expression. But gist and nutshell of U.S.-North Korean agreement is already, I think, concluded. Please, President Trump, don't make South Korea feel once more again like 1905, 1950s, and 1971 or 72. Somewhat Korea is left out. Even if President Moon gave you that kind of some, impression that you may do that, such as you can negotiate with the North Korea as you want. What you have deal with is not the 4 years, 5 years Korean president. You have deal with is you should take care is not 5-year term president, but everlasting South Korea. The logistics and strategic value and economic value of South Korea to you, geopolitically, geostrategically, you recognize that South Korea is how crucial and how important to protect your Pacific interest. I know you are very anxious to get the Nobel Prize, as President Roosevelt did it, President Obama did it. You think that you are far better than them, maybe in some ways. And the initiation or the courage to deal with the North Korean denuclearization, I give you big hand. But importance is not the ceremony or a big event. Importance is to maintaining U.S.-Korean security alliance, as well as keeping South Korea safe and completely liberate Korea, to help South Korea completely liberate the threat of North Korean nuclear weapons. Nobel Prize, the Nobel Prize could be a sweetest candy and chocolate to you. But candy and chocolate make you fat and help your blood pressure high. Within short seconds, it's sweet, very satisfaction, very satisfying. Maybe in the long run, it will bring about another very unpleasant side effect. If you become so blind about Nobel Prize, before thinking about this serious and then genuine ally, we are not anymore what's so-called ally to you. We are genuine ally. Korea is more precious, more important, more expensive than Nobel Prize to United States. Please keep that in your mind. All what you should is, along with the U.S. interest, the interest of South Korea, you should be simultaneously take care of it. Should take consideration in your every single step toward in dealing with the North Korean. Thank you very much. I'll end up my talk at here. Please, somehow, some way, this message delivered to Washington area. I know Trump knows all those things, but at least hear that. Listen that. Consider this one of Koreans' voices, but many, it represents many people's wish too. If you like this video, please thumbs up and kindly subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye now.